Marcus Reeves had always been the kind of man who couldn't walk past a hungry animal without stopping. It was this same impulse that led him to approach the two strange creatures huddled behind the atmospheric processors on mining station Kepler 442b, despite regulations strictly forbidding contact with unidentified xenofauna. The beings were no larger than house cats, their translucent skin revealing a complex network of bioluminescent organs that pulsed with a soft blue light. Their four legs ended in delicate, almost crystalline appendages that clicked softly against the metal flooring. Most striking were their eyes, large, multifaceted orbs that seemed to hold an intelligence far beyond their diminutive size. Marcus knelt slowly, producing 2 protein bars from his maintenance kit. The creatures watched him with what appeared to be cautious curiosity. When he broke the bars into smaller pieces and placed them on the ground, the aliens approached with deliberate, synchronized movements that suggested some form of shared consciousness. As they consumed the offered food, their bioluminescent patterns shifted from blue to a warm amber, and Marcus felt an inexplicable sense of gratitude emanating from them. The feeling was so overwhelming that he stepped back, wondering if these beings possessed some form of empathic communication. 19 minutes after the feeding, the station's long-range sensors began screaming alerts that would change the course of human history. Commander Elena Vasquez burst into the control room, her face pale as she stared at the holographic display. 7,000 vessels had just dropped out of hyperspace at the edge of the system, ships unlike anything in the Colonial Defense Force database. Their hulls appeared to be grown rather than built, organic curves that seemed to breathe with the same bioluminescent patterns Marcus had observed in the small creatures. "All stations, this is an emergency broadcast," came the panicked voice of station control. "Unknown fleet detected. Estimated arrival time, 4 hours. All civilian vessels are ordered to evacuate immediately." Marcus felt his blood turn to ice. He looked down at the two creatures, who had finished eating and were now regarding him with what seemed like anticipation rather than fear. Their amber glow had intensified, and he noticed they were emitting a low-frequency harmonic that his instruments barely detected. The largest ship in the alien fleet, a massive organism vessel nearly 10 kilometers long, transmitted a signal that human computers could barely interpret. When the translation matrix finally processed the message, it was elegantly simple: "Our young ones have been cared for. We come in peace to retrieve them and offer gratitude." Marcus understood with crystalline clarity that he had inadvertently fed the offspring of what appeared to be the galaxy's most advanced spacefaring civilization. The two strays were not lost animals but rather juvenile members of a species whose parents commanded a fleet that dwarfed the entire Colonial Defense Force. As the alien vessels approached, their formation was not aggressive but protective, 7,000 ships arranged in perfect geometric patterns that spoke of mathematics beyond human comprehension. The lead vessel transmitted detailed star charts showing safe passage routes through previously unknown sectors of space, along with the molecular structure of medicines that could cure diseases humanity hadn't yet discovered. The young aliens at Marcus's feet began to glow more brightly, their harmonic frequency shifting to what sounded almost like contentment. One of them approached and gently touched his hand with a crystalline appendage. In that moment, Marcus felt a profound connection, not just to these creatures, but to the vast network of consciousness that linked their entire species across the stars. When the rescue ships finally arrived, they came not as conquerors but as grateful parents, offering humanity something far more valuable than territory or resources: an invitation to join a galactic community that had been waiting millions of years for Earth's children to prove they possessed the most important qualification for membership: compassion for beings unlike themselves. Marcus watched as the young aliens were gently retrieved by their family, their parting gift to him a small, glowing crystal that would later prove to contain the mathematical principles for faster-than-light travel. Sometimes, he reflected, the smallest acts of kindness create the largest changes in the universe.